So let's look at the verse. Find your number, look next door. 4 or less, just ignore. 5 or more, add 1 more. Everything to the left stays the same. Everything to the right changes to a 0. Okay, let's make this a little bit smaller and just push it out of the way so that we can use it and apply it to some numbers. First things first though, I need to write in some numbers that we're going to be referring to. Okay, so let's start with some numbers which we are going to refer to as we work through the verse. So on this side, I want black is good. I want 0, 1, 2, 3, and 4. And over on the right, I want 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. So our first number is going to be, let's see, $23.38. And our goal is to round this number to the nearest whole number, which is the 3. That's the nearest dollar. So let's change colors to a red and start working through the verse. Find your number, and the number we're looking for, as we said, was going to be the nearest whole dollar, and look next door. So 3 is the number next door. 4 or less, just ignore. And the 3 does, in fact, fall into that 4 or less category. So the 3 remains a 3, and the 3 remains a 3, and everything to the left stays the same. So that refers to the 2. However, everything to the right changes to a 0. So $23.38 rounds to $23. Let's use another example. Let's use $13.81. Again, rounding to the nearest dollar or whole number. We'll go back to using our red pen. Find your number, which again, let's change this to a yellow. So find your number, and this time, again, it is a 3, the nearest whole number, or the nearest dollar. And then look next door. This time we have an 8. 4 or less, just ignore. It does not fall into this category. However, if we look over here, 8 falls into the 5 or more category. So add 1 more. So what are we going to do to add 1 more? Simply what it says. 3 plus 1 equals 4. And then everything to the left stays the same, while everything to the right becomes a 0. So $13.81 rounds to $14. So let's go on to another example. And this example is going to be $42. And we're just going to revert back to an entirely decimal number because it's going to be 3841. So find your number, and we're going to round to the nearest hundredth, and that's our 8, and the nearest hundredth, because this would make our cents on our dollar. And look next door, and we find that the 4 does in fact belong to the 4 or less group. So we just ignore the 8. It stays the same. So everything to the left of that 8 stays the same. So $42.30, while everything to the right changes to a 0. And if you look at this, we really don't need those zeros on there because we are in fact referring to money with dollars and cents. Let's look at a final example, and that'll be $27, 27.3. Let's stay as 8 again, but this time we'll have 3, 8, 62. So, referring to the verse, I want to change this color, so let's go back to red. So, find your number, and again we're going to round to the nearest hundredths, because we want to have dollars and cents. While we look next door, 4 or less, and the 6, does not fall into that category. It falls into the 5 or more category. 5 or more, add 1 more. So we're simply going to add 1 more. So 8 plus 1 is 9, while everything to the left stays the same. So we remain with $27.30. Only now we've got 39 cents. And everything to the right changes to a 0. Whoops. Sorry. Mind you, again, we don't need to put that because we are referring to money. So $27.38 decimal 3862 rounds off to $27.39. So now let's have you try it. $28.83. Now round this one to the nearest whole dollar, and then go to the next page to see if you got the right answer. So when you rounded $28.83 to the nearest whole dollar, if you got $29, you in fact got it right. Good job. Let's try one more. $22.9428. Okay, so this time we're going to round to the nearest hundredth, meaning we want to complete dollars and cents. So you're on your own this time. When you're done, check on the next page to see if you got your answer correct. So 4 is your number, 2 is next door, and 2 falls under the 4 or less category. So 4 stays the same because the 2 falls into the 4 or less category, giving an answer of $22.94. Congratulations if you got that right. You can now complete your worksheet that deals with rounding decimal numbers to the nearest dollar and cents.